I can only assume that you will enjoy educating your family about how the Coast Guard is, quote, the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war. You're a really dull class. I mean, come on, man. Is the sun getting to you? I would think you'd have an opportunity when I say that about the Navy to clap, but being here together.
Meetings with the government can take anywhere. Can take place anywhere and any place, you know? On a box with a fox, on a train or a plane. I mean, really anywhere. So.
For the lack of a better way to put it, has he already started to sing the federal authorities?
I'm sorry?
Has he already started to sing the federal authorities?
Has he already just...
You know that expression, starting to sing?
No, I don't know that expression.
Has he started to talk to federal authorities?
Oh, thank you for clarifying it. That was my way of not answering your question. I know what it meant. I know what you meant. Sorry.
Today is tax day, when everyone's taxes are due. No one likes to pay taxes, I know. But my dad used to say it's a small price to live in this country. But I want to tell everyone with children why, as they're filing their taxes today, they should know that a new tax cut will be coming their way for working class and middle class folks, and very soon. As everyone knows, we firmly believe the need to make our tax system work for the middle class. That's why I think we should ask corporations in the top 1% to start paying their fair share, and why we should crack down on millionaires and billionaires who escape taxes by cheating. But I also think we need to give ordinary families a break, a tax break, to help them with the cost of raising their kids. Most people don't know it, but for families with children, we put that tax cut into the American Rescue Plan, which was signed not long ago. And I signed the tax cut into law in March. 90% of the families, all middle class and working class families, will get this tax cut. It's a one-year cut that reduces your taxes by $3,000 a year for each child you have under the age of 18. 2 kids, it's a $6,000 tax cut. And if those kids are under the age of 6, they'll actually get $3,600 per child. So, as you file your taxes today, know that your tax cut is coming. But here's the great news. You won't have to wait until your next year's tax return to get that break. I'm announcing today that on July 15th and the 15th of every month thereafter throughout the year, you will get deposited in your bank account half of your tax cut, at least $250 per child each month, a direct deposit into your account. So if you're a working family with 2 kids, you're going to get $500 a month into your bank account on the 15th of every month starting July. We're getting, and we are getting you a tax cut this year now when you need it and not have to wait. And if you get your tax cut refund deposited in your bank account automatically, this tax cut will be put into your account automatically. If not, it will be mailed to you. In addition to helping Americans hard-pressed and working families, experts have told us this will cut child poverty in America in half. This tax cut sends a clear and powerful message to American working families with children.
The Pentagon will stay up late thinking of ways to keep America strong. The question is, have they been doing that? When you can judge for yourself. Most of the generals we see quoted in the press seem more committed to meeting some counterproductive diversity goal, hiring more pregnant Air Force pilots, assembling the world's first transgender SEAL team, than on defending the United States. The conflicts the Pentagon says it's preparing for often seem comically small and outdated, almost from colonial times, whether it's wrangling with illiterate tribesmen in Afghanistan, that's very important, or ramping up for some new war against a remote group of buildings in Syria, wherever the hell Syria is. Can poor, irrelevant countries really be our gravest enemies? We act like it, but they're not. And that's been confirmed tonight, by the way. This nation's most formidable foe, the new defense secretary just told us, is the weather itself. Going forward, the U.S. military has declared a hot war on global warming.
Today, no nation can find lasting security without addressing the climate crisis. We face all kinds of threats in our line of work, but few of them truly deserve to be called existential. A climate crisis does deserve to be called existential.
Existential. If you've got a cliche, he will read it on television. That was Lloyd Austin, of course. Lloyd Austin is a former defense contractor, not surprisingly. He's a full-time ideologue as well. Having Lloyd Austin at the Pentagon is like handing control of the entire U.S. military to the editorial page of the New York Times. Here is Lloyd Austin explaining that the single scariest risk our soldiers face is the possibility they might have to serve alongside Americans who didn't vote for Joe Biden.
And if confirmed, I will fight hard to stamp out sexual assault and to rid our ranks of racists and extremists. The job of the Department of Defense is to keep America safe from our enemies. But we can't do that if some of those enemies lie within our own ranks.
He's a joke and a mediocrity, and of course he was confirmed by the Senate as if he was impressive, but he's not, and the results are entirely predictable. A new report in Revolver News puts a finer point on what exactly is happening at the...
If we don't stop this ridiculous spending, they want to what, spend another $4 or $5 trillion after they wasted the last $1.9 trillion?
Why is the Associated Press sharing a building with Hamas? Surely these intrepid reporters knew who their neighbors were. Did they knowingly allow themselves to be used as human shields by a U.S.-designated terrorist organization? Did the AP pull its punches and decline to report for years on Hamas's misdeeds? I submit that the AP has some uncomfortable questions to answer.
Speaking of the truth, some of your Republican colleagues are trying to rewrite history about the January 6th insurrection. Listen to what some of them said this week.
The DOJ is harassing peaceful patriots across the country.
It was Trump supporters who lost their lives that day, not Trump supporters who were taking the lives of others. It was not an insurrection. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Congressman Upton, what's your response to those statements from your Republican colleagues?
It's absolutely bogus. It's absolutely bogus. You know, I was there. I watched a number of the folks walk down to the White House and then back. I've got a balcony on my office. So I saw them go down. I heard the noise. The flashbangs, smelled some of the gas as it moved my way. Obviously, was watching live, the live video. It was carried on all the networks at the time. Talked to a number of the SWAT team members after it was over. Obviously, talked to some of my colleagues who were in the chamber. And I spent some time with Officer Fanone, the Metropolitan Police officer, whose body cam was, you all aired it earlier this week, but it's been widely now available. I saw firsthand what that was, and it did not change my opinion from what I personally saw back on January 6th.
Does it make you angry when you hear your Republican
it's important that we do this.
that?
Well, I just, someone said earlier this week that, one of my colleagues who said some of those things was actually in the chamber, hearing the noise, heard the shots.
So what are they doing?
I don't know how you can be a better witness if...
So what are they doing here? Why are they doing this?
Well, that's why it's important. I don't know. I don't know what their motivation is, but I know that as I talked to some colleagues, even again this week, who were in the chamber, it was terribly frightening. It was, they knew that by stopping some of those folks from getting inside to the House chamber, it's probably saved their lives. You know, I saw the gallows that were constructed on the east front of the Capitol. One of the police officers, Capitol Hill police officers, is from my hometown. I spent some time with him. It was chilling what happened, absolutely chilling. And that's why I think that it's important that we move forward with this bipartisan commission, get the facts out, try to assure the American public this is what happened, and let the facts lead.
Well, first, I wanted to thank my colleagues for the opportunity to serve as the House Republican Conference Chair. I have prioritized listening to all members of our Republican conference, and my focus is on unity because that's what the American people and that's what our voters deserve. Liz Cheney is a part of this conference.
Can you face the camera, please?
Is a part of this conference. They were elected and sent here by the people in their district. They are part of this Republican conference. We are unified in working with President Trump. My job representing our Republican members, the vast majority of you look forward to working with President Trump. I believe that voters determine the leader of the Republican Party, and President Trump is the leader that they look to. I support President Trump. Voters support President Trump. He is an important voice in our Republican Party, and we look forward to working with him.
I want to congratulate Elise Stefanik and welcome her to the leadership team. I want to thank Chip Roy as well. We had a healthy debate and a good election. We've got a lot of work to do in this leadership team. We've got a lot of work to do in this conference.
The reason that not every American has taken this vaccine is a measure of the sincere and legitimate questions they have about it. But no one should ever be forced to take this or any other medicine against their will. Unless they speak up now, unless they resist this, they'll be getting this shot whether they like it or not, and a lot more shots after this.